Atlantean is a brand new TurboGrafx 16 Hue card. That's right, not a CD or a Super CD or anything like that. This is a brand new Hue card. Thanks to the wonderful folks over at Aetherbyte Studios. They actually called their new card an AB card to reference the studio, which I thought was pretty cool. Now I can't tell you how bloody awesome it is to get a brand new Hue card after all these years. It's actually been around 20 years since the last release on Hue card. That's insane. Well, there's a lot more to the story than I'm telling you here, because the game was released back in August of 2014, but due to the fact that I restructured the whole apartment, the game got buried and, well, I only recently found it, and long story short, here we are with a final look at this fantastic game. You might be wondering why we're looking at a new game on Retro Wednesday, and well, that's because I think all of these new releases for older consoles deserve the maximum amount of exposure. If I can convince at least a few of you to go check this game out, then I consider that mission accomplished. As you're all aware, the PC Engine, and to a slightly lesser extent the TurboGrafx 16, are home to some incredible shooters. We have seen absolutely everything from Gradius to Lords of Thunder, from Hue cards to Super CDs, and from pure crap to legendary status. The TurboGrafx 16 has literally seen it all. Atlantean is a brand new Defender-style shooter that pushes the system in bold new directions, and the fact that it has been released on a Hue card and not a CD is all the more impressive. So where do I begin? I suppose I should start by telling you how the game is played, or rather how you progress. It's quite interesting as there's much more to it than you'd first expect. Gameplay is broken up into 5 different phases. The first phase, called the enemy phase, is where you play a somewhat classic game of Defender. Atlanteans are on the bottom of the screen waiting to be picked up by the evil Ringler. Your mission is to prevent that from happening and to take out all the other enemies, including the FOD, Anglo, Crawl, and many more. Once you defeat all the enemies and protect the Atlanteans from 3 waves of attacks, the game progresses to the next phase, the Minefield, where, as you might imagine, your objective is to simply survive, dodge all the mines, and make your way towards the enemy boss. Although, not before a counterattack, which is the next phase. You have to survive 1 more wave of enemies. Defeat them, and then you truly are off to fight the Guardian of the level. After that, there's a nice bonus stage where you catch falling Atlanteans, which repopulate the planet, and then it's off to the next stage. You're armed with a powerful laser shot, bombs, an emergency warp, and your nerves of steel. There's also a handy map at the top of the screen where you can see the location of all the Atlanteans and all of the enemies, so you can sort of strategize how you want to plan your attack. There are 4 unique worlds for you to explore and protect. It's an incredibly fun game to play, and high-score fanatics will have a blast trying to one-up their previous scores. If all of this weren't enough, there's even an endurance mode to see how long you can last. Now let's tackle some technical details. The soundtrack is fully chip-generated and sounds absolutely fantastic. These guys have really outdone themselves. If you recall, they also did the excellent Insanity, but I think this one's even better. Outside the great sound effects and soundtrack, you can expect some nice, bright, and vivid graphics, great enemy and level design, and even parallax scrolling. You do not expect this kind of quality from a quote-unquote indie developer. It's games like Atlantean that really make me dislike that term indie, as the amount of devotion that went into the development of this game is staggering, and the quality speaks for itself. This truly looks like a AAA release for the TurboGrafx 16. Aetherbyte Studios is no longer accepting pre-orders for Atlantean because the demand was overwhelming and they're trying to catch up. They do promise at some point they will start to reproduce the game, but for now, well, you're pretty much out of luck. And I have to say, I absolutely cannot wait to see what these guys come up with next. Atlantean, if you can find a copy, is well worth checking out.